Hello friends and welcome to another video lesson from DBOS Talks. If you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you to click the subscribe button and click the bell so that you can be notified of new uploads. This is the 8th video of an Excel tutorial series, and here we will learn how Excel can help us in doing our monthly budget. This can be a personal budget or even one for our own family. We shall start by, of course, launching the Excel application, Microsoft Excel. In my case, I've already opened that. So once your Excel is open, the next thing you will do is you will click on the File menu, on the File tab, menu, and then you will go to Templates. After clicking File, you will see a list of templates in here. So in my case, what you see is blank workbook, which is what you would see also in your own application, and a list of templates. In my case, I already see the personal monthly budget because I have recently opened it. But otherwise, if you don't see it from your view, what you can do is you will click on this more templates. And then after clicking on that, for sure, you will find one called personal monthly budget. So in my case, I will just click on personal monthly budget, which is an Excel template. Once I do that, I'll come to this, and then I can just click on the create button over here. You can go ahead and do that. Okay, once you do that, it will open this, some README, some informative instructions or information about the template. So it will tell you that this template is, you can use this for personal monthly budget worksheet to track your projected and actual monthly income and projected and actual cost. So you'll basically enter expenses incurred in various categories in respective tables, and then the projected balance, actual balance, and difference are auto calculated. Okay, so actually, let's get on. Let's proceed and take a look at the Excel template itself. Okay, if there's a sheet here called personal monthly budget. Remember, this is a template, so it's up to you. You can create a copy of this one by doing a file save as. It's really all up to you. So remember, it's a template which is already available once you have Excel. So it is something you can tweak to your own preferences, to your own needs. Again, let's have a look and get familiar with how it looks. By the way, if for some reason you don't see this template in your sheet, in your Excel, you can go to this location, just in case that template, personal monthly budget, is somehow not there when you go to file and then you go to the list of templates. Then you can go to this website, https://templates.office.com, and you can download it from there. No problem. Okay. Now that we have the template open in front of us, let's be familiar with what it looks like and what to expect and what we can, how we can make changes or entries in it. Okay. Notice that in this Excel template file, the data in it is divided into expense and categories. Okay. Such as housing, transportation, and so on. See, at the very top, of course, we have a title, personal monthly budget is the title of the sheet itself. And then we have projected monthly income, projected meaning what you have in mind, and or expected, and actual monthly income. We know what actual is. So same here on the right side, you have projected balance, actual balance. Okay. So if we look at projected monthly income, this is your expected monthly income. You have here what's called income one, which you can easily rename as you wish. You can rename it here. This is referring to your main income, which could be your job or can even be your business if you have a business. If that is your main, whatever is your main income, that is your income one. Again, you can rename this, okay? And then here on this cell called C5, you can edit this according to what is really your monthly income of your major income. It could be a job. Extra income, if any, meaning on top of your monthly income, which is your probably your regular job. Extra income could be that you have a side business, any kind of income generating activity or income source you have, which is on top of your main source of income. Okay, so you will enter here and you will enter here. If you have no extra income, no problem, you will enter 0 here in C6. And there is a formula here in total monthly income. You can see the formula equals sum C5 to C6, meaning it will get the total of C5 and C6 and put it here. So for those who are not familiar with Excel, you can go ahead and go through my Excel tutorial series. You start from the very first one so that you will get you'll get familiar with how Excel works at the very basic level. And just remember that you don't need to edit a formula. This is a formula. If you the one I'm pointing out right now, pointing at, this is a formula. You don't need to edit this. You only need to edit those that are not formulas. Like say this one, if you want to change the label of income to something more, something you prefer that is easy to understand, easily understandable, then you can rename it. But here you need to really replace this with whatever is your monthly income, which normally is your regular job. And then here, if you have no extra income, you enter 0 here. And after doing that, this will automatically be calculated. Example, extra income, I'll just put 0 here. Okay, so automatically it computes the total monthly income. Okay, so that's monthly. This is projected monthly income, meaning what you expect. Okay, and then here there's actual monthly income. By the way, this as a template which was prepared by Microsoft itself, and it's properly done. It is a lot better than you thinking about this from scratch. They put their heads together and come up with this. I'm sure they consulted some financial expert to come up with this kind of sheet. It is very helpful because you don't have to reinvent the wheel, so to speak. It's already here. It just needs minor tweaking here and there according to your preference, according to whatever works for you the best. Okay, so projected monthly income, whatever is your expected monthly income. If you don't have an extra income, you can put 0 here. That's the projected. Actual, this is included here because sometimes in certain cases, the monthly income isn't really fixed. For instance, you are a sales guy, sales engineer, salesman, sales representative, and your basic salary is fixed, but there's an extra income in your case, which is in the form of a commission based on your actual sales. So that will be variable. That will change from month to month, depending on your actual sales, right? So that is where the actual monthly income comes in, meaning your basic could be something fixed, but your extra income is changing, fluctuating. So it could be because it's based on, let's say, commission. That's why you have this actual. Otherwise, if in your case, the monthly income is always the same, then no problem. Whatever entries you have made in the projected monthly income, even if this is 0 or not, then you just copy those entries here. And your total monthly income will be the same between the projected and the actual. Okay, this is the starting point because this is where you can never make a budget if you have no source of income, isn't it? So this is really a logical layout that was done on this personal monthly budget template. Okay, so let's get on with the other things in the sheet. There are a couple of categories in here which are generic and they will really work for most of us. It's a housing. So a couple of items under housing, mortgage or rent. If you are paying for something that you already own, property, real estate property, or you're renting, the phone bill, electricity, gas, LPG, water and sewer, cable, which I assume is cable TV, etc., etc. So again, these are the categories and some items under it, and there are columns C and D, which are those that you will enter. So projected, again, projected, something you are expecting, and the actual. Again, if in your case, there is no difference between, let's say, the rent is fixed or the mortgage is fixed, then you just copy whatever value in here to the actual. They're the same. And the same goes for the rest of the items. And so you will enter values here in the projected and the actual, and then in the difference, in the column called difference, you don't have to enter anything because it is a formula. You see, it begins with an equal sign, it's a formula. So you don't have to change this one. See, for instance, okay, anyway, it's a formula, so you don't need to worry about it. So there are other categories under this. On the right side, if I scroll to the right, there's something called entertainment, video. This is probably, let's say, in the good old days, people would rent a DVD or what have you. But these days, it could be in the form of a Netflix subscription. You can put it here. Again, there are categories called columns called projected cost and actual cost. Projected is something you're expecting, and actual. Again, if the projected and the actual are just the same value, then no problem. You'll just enter it here, enter it here. And then again, under the difference, you don't have to do anything because it is also using a formula. So you never ever edit a formula so that you don't mess up the whole sheet because it's been prepared for you. It's a template. If I scroll further down, so here's the subtotal. This is called a subtotal because it's only a total. It's not a grand total, but it's a subtotal or a total only for this category of items under housing in this case. So if I scroll further down, there's another category called transportation. And obviously it will have items under it which relate to transportation. Vehicle payment, bus, taxi fare, insurance, licensing, car insurance, licensing, or else fuel, petrol, gas, maintenance. Okay, again, remember this is monthly budget. And bear in mind that again, we have columns called projected cost and actual cost. And if, like I said, if your projected cost, if the monthly cost for a certain item is just the same month per month, then enter the same value in projected cost as well as in actual cost. And it will have a difference of 0. Okay, the subtotal, as mentioned earlier, is referring to a total of the items under this category, in this case, transportation. And there will be several other categories in this sheet. On the right side, I can see loans. It's a lot of the same story, a lot of the same kind of layout, the same kind of columns and computation. Insurance, what is this? Taxes, food, etc., etc. Okay, so you get the hang of it. You get familiar. It's not that complicated. Very simple layout, but very useful. You don't have to mess around. Careful not to touch the formula. Worst case scenario, you messed up the formula, no problem. As I said, you can get the template again, file template. And if it isn't even there, you can just even go to this website and download that template. Okay, I'll go back to this. So again, the starting point here is declaring in this spreadsheet your monthly income, which is the very basic, will consist of something here. It's called income one, but it's referring to your main source of income, which could be your 9 to 5 day job, or any kind, but your main source of income, you'll put it here. If you have no extra source of income, then you can enter 0. And remember, if this is a formula in here, when you click on a cell, always look at this formula bar to make sure it's not a formula. So you can see the value here, 4,300 is the same as what is here. Then you're sure it's not a formula. 0 here, 0 here, it's not a formula. Here, 4,300, here's a formula. So you don't touch the formula so that you will not come up with confusing or misleading figures. So you will enter the income information, your monthly income. And if it is differing between projected and actual, then you enter accordingly. Otherwise, if month after month your income is fixed, then whatever you entered here in the projected monthly should be the same as what you enter in the actual monthly. Then, as I said, you can enter the projected costs and actual costs for different categories. Again, you don't touch the difference. After doing all that, and you can do this on a monthly basis, because it's a monthly budget after all. When you scroll to the very bottom of this, you will come up with this somewhere at the bottom and to the right. You have this called total projected cost, total actual cost, and then total difference. If you see they look familiar, understandably, because you've seen these columns up there when we were talking about the details of the categories, that all of those categories had a column called projected cost, actual cost, and difference. So here is a grand total of those 3 fields, grand total of all the categories: projected cost, actual cost, and difference. And they are all formula fields, so don't even touch them. See, even this is a formula, this is also a formula, and this is a formula, so you don't touch them. But what's the most important thing to take note of here about these fields is this. You notice, okay, let me get to, okay, so if you look at the total difference, this is the most important thing after doing all those entry of data. If total difference is a positive value, then you are in a good place. You have a surplus. If the total difference is a negative value, then we have a shortfall. And in this case, it is showing as red, and in parentheses is actually a negative value, because the cost that you were expecting was $1,195, but the actual cost, money going out of your pocket, is actually more. So when you do this, 1,195 minus 1,236, then you come up with a negative value, which is shown in red and in parentheses. This means negative. So again, this is the most important point of conclusion after doing all the data entry in this sheet. If the total difference is in the red, this means it's negative. This means you have a shortfall. Your cost or your expenses are more than or is more than projected cost. If it is If your total difference is positive, meaning greater than 0, then this will not be, see, okay, let's simulate that. Let's just say the actual cost is, no, I won't touch this because there is a formula. Okay, anyway, you try to just take note. If the total difference is negative, then you're in the red. You're short. You have a shortfall. If your total difference is positive, greater than 0, then this will not be red. It should be positive. You have a surplus. You're in a good place. Okay, simple as that. Okay, so there you have it. Here we've learned about a very important template available in Microsoft Excel called personal monthly budget. And even if by some chance you don't see this when you go to file, you don't see that template, you can just go straight to this website, https templates.office.com, and then you can download personal budget, monthly budget from there. Okay, I hope we learned something new from this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I suggest you click subscribe button, click the notify button, the bell notification, so that you can be informed of new uploads. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and happy learning. See you in the next video.